Hi everyone, my name is Diane and this is My Pink Bathtub Knits. Welcome! Today we are opening a yarn swap. Yarn swap! I have quite a bit of yarn. And I've really been looking at my stash quite deeply recently and trying to figure out what to do with some of it. I've received a lot of yarn over the last year. Well, when I say received, I bought a lot of yarn over the last year. And quite a bit of it was in mystery bags. Now, mystery bags can be a lot of fun, and I received a lot of great yarn. However, I am at a bit of a stumbling block on how to use some of this. And to me, yarn doesn't have value if you are not going to be using it. I do use a lot of yarn for markets. I make mittens and toys for markets, primarily in acrylic or an acrylic wool blend, but I am transitioning more to wool, especially for myself. And I've been buying a lot of hand-dyed yarn for myself. So I was thinking, what can I do to rehome some of this yarn? Maybe it's a color that I don't really gravitate to, like pink or purple. I know. It's confusing. I am my pink bathtub, but I don't like pink. The thing is, I used to own a pink bathtub years ago in my apartment that I lived in when I went back to college, and my friends and I just made a big joke out of it, and I would always say, come on over and check out my pink bathtub. It stuck for some reason. I thought it was a cute and quirky name, but often when people see me on a list for a market, they think I sell bath bombs. So hence the word knits at the end of it. I reached out to my friend Cathy from Yarn with Heart. Cathy is got a fairly new channel still. She's been around for maybe 3 or 4 months, and she lives in Ontario, Canada. So I'm in Manitoba, and so technically we're neighbors. So Cathy has a fiber sensitivity when it comes to animal fibers. I'll let her explain that more to you because I'm sure hoping that you will go over and check out her channel this Friday because she is going to be opening her yarn then. You get to see what we sent each other. So when Cathy told me that she had bought herself some Aberdeen's wool mystery bags, I was like, Cathy, there's going to be wool in there. So that kind of got the ball rolling in, well, if you don't want the wool, I've got a lot of acrylic that I think you would really like. And the fun part about this swap, especially with someone who's a content creator, is I went back and I rewatched many of her episodes and just kind of had my listening ears on about what colors she liked, what types of yarns she liked, what yarn she was sharing with us. And it was kind of cool because she would go, I only bought 2 of these because that's all they had left. And it's discontinued. And I'm like, ding, 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 I have some of that yarn. So I hope you like what I sent you, Cathy, because the whole purpose of this rehoming was for us to get yarn that we could actually use. So without further ado, let's go into the yarn box and see what Cathy sent me today. So none of this is a surprise. I have opened the box to speed up on time, and let's look and see what she sent me. So I received some more of this Heartland yarn. I have quite a bit of it in my stash, but I actually don't have this color. It's quite lovely. It's called Gray Sand Dunes. And she sent me 2 balls plus 2 that are already caked up. So thank you. I'm working on that McGinnis sweater and I'm only on my 2nd ball, and I'm thinking I might be able to get away with just using 4 balls. So this could definitely be a sweater for someone else. And it is also a lovely color, and I could even hold it together to make a different project with a more thicker yarn. She also sent me, which was a bit of a surprise, but she did tell me she was going to do this, a couple of bamboo circular needles. This is a 6.5 millimeter in a 32 inch. And this one is a 3.75 millimeter in a 16 inch. Now I use 3.75 quite a bit. So thank you, Cathy. Another thing she sent me, which I'm actually very excited about, even though it is not technically my colorway. But the yarn is something I use all the time, and it is discontinued. So if anybody has this yarn, call me. Color Made Easy yarn. This is a discontinued yarn. This is 100% acrylic, and it is a bulky weight 5. And I use this to make my adult mittens because some of them I make acrylic wool, some of them are 100% acrylic. And she mentioned she had like 1.5 skeins of this. And one of these I can get 2 pairs of mittens out of. So I'm hoping to squeak 3 pairs out of this. And I am going to make with this color, which is called Horizon, some really cute kitty cat mittens. I think the color will look really good. It has a bit of a lilac-y tinge to it. It's not currently looking like that on my screen, but I think it will pick up properly because it tends to, once I watch the video back. I got this box last week when I went for that winter walk with you to pick up the mail, and I wanted to cast on to this so badly. So I'm going to do that when I get off this episode and show you the following week these mittens, because I think they're going to turn out really well. So thank you so much, Cathy. I just love Color Made Easy yarn. And I have scooped up as much as I can whenever I found it, like on sale, but it's kind of gone now. Like, I am definitely the queen of discontinued yarn. Sad to say. That's what happens when you have a large stash. Now, the whole purpose of this yarn swap was to, just not go out and buy anything, but just to exchange yarn that you currently have that you may not use. And Cathy went out and bought something. And I was like, that's not what it's all about, girlfriend. It's about just deep diving in your stash. But she wanted to get me some more wool, and she is so sweet and so kind. She got me some Patton's Croy sock yarn. And I've been making a lot of animals in animal patterns that I haven't made before. And I have that Yarnyfriends book, which after I make the next animal that I've selected, I am deep diving hard into that book, and I want to make all of the animals. So a lot of this yarn is going to be used either for the animal itself or the little cute outfits that they have on. So thank you so much, Cathy. You didn't have to go and buy me anything, but I really super appreciate it. So this one is called Gray Marl. And this is a superwash wool. I think it's superwash. Actually, it doesn't say. 25% wool, 25% nylon, 75% wool. I thought it was superwash. It's a 1 weight, which is a fingering weight yarn. That's okay. I've got a whole bunch of it anyway. Also, this cute color in plum. It just says it's wool. Coal, which I don't have. So that's fantastic, having the black color to do like eyes and different things if I don't use safety eyes. This one is Gentry Gray. And this one is called Seashell Colors. So lots of great neutrals for me to use with my little animals. I'm super stoked about that. She also, and she did mention this, had a whole bunch of books that she was hoping to rehome. And so she sent me a book. She gave me the names. And I did take a quick look at this book, and it is right up my alley. It is called Knit, Wear, Love. And it's all about choosing patterns that suit your shape and how you can customize them for the results that you want. So very, very detailed book. I am very, very thrilled to get it. A lot of great simple wearables in here, because the one sweater that I did make for myself, I found like I had a lot of fabric in the back. Depending on how you measure yourself, if you're measuring in the biggest part of your bust, you're going to have that much fabric in the back as well. So I'm still kind of learning about the sizing of garments. And this is just a beautiful book. Thank you so much for thinking of me, Cathy. It's fantastic. And then the other stuff that she sent me was the products that she received in her Aberdeen's wool mystery bags when she opened them in December. Now, they all had wool in them. She cannot use them. These are all beautiful brand name yarns, and I'm feeling a little guilty that I didn't send you enough yarn in comparison to what you've sent me. I do actually have a whole other bin of yarn for Cathy, because the package that the box that I bought through the Canada Post was a prepaid box, and I just shoved as much as I could in there. I could have sent her 3 boxes of yarn, and I will be sending her more in the spring or in the summer whenever we want to do it again. And I'm feeling like you don't even have to send me anything, because watch what she sent me. She sent me Noro. Noro. This is the Silk Garden Solo. So this is like the tonal colors of the Noro, which I don't have any tonal. It is a 4-weight medium, 45% silk, 45% mohair, my new favorite, and 10% wool. Just beautiful. It's color number 3. And then this one is the same specs of the content, but this is your standard Silk Garden. And it's color number 373. Just beautiful. I have a very small collection of Noro. One of the first high-end yarns I ever bought for myself as a new knitter was a ball of Silk Garden, and I still have it. I have not used it. So I'm hoping that I can coordinate something with the 3 of these, with the other one I have, to make something really beautiful. I'm starting to look at patterns on Ravelry of items that people have made with Noro. And I know people are on the fence. They either love it or they hate it, but I am a Noro fan, and it's time to start knitting with it for sure. I have my one other Silk Garden, and I have 2 Korean, I think they're called. And they are a thicker, heavier wool. So I'm going to do in the near future a month of Noro, where all I'm doing is using all my Noro yarn and making projects with it, because it's time to use this nice yarn. It's been sitting around for a while. I did receive some from Aberdeen's wool as well, and I need to use this yarn. It's just gorgeous. So thank you so much, Cathy. Here is a yarn that I have never bought this brand before, and this is Rowan Kid Classic. Just beautiful. It's a 50-gram ball. It's made with lamb's wool and kid mohair. You know I'm a fan of mohair now. Like, I have fallen hard for mohair. I don't think it says what the weight of this is. It feels like a DK. Maybe with the halo, it's bordering on a 4, but I would say it's a 3-weight. I mean, it's just beautiful. Oh, it's 70% wool, 25% mohair, 8% polyamide. Like, just gorgeous. I'm really amazed by what you sent me, and there's still more. Like, she was so generous in sending this to me, and like I said, I don't feel like I sent her back the equivalent. Oh my gosh. And then there was 2. She had received 3 mystery bags. So luckily there was some cotton and things like that she could use, and acrylic. But like I said, she sent me everything that was the wool content. So there's 2 vintage Baroccos in the bag as well. A beautiful cranberry color and a charcoal gray, which is my colors, clearly. These are both 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon. They are a 4-weight, I believe, 218 yards. and just beautiful, beautiful quality yarn. I have some of the Barocco now in DK, and I have the bulky, which I'm making the polar bear mittens, and now I have this, and it goes together beautifully. So I am just, everything she has sent me, I can use. I am just, and the last two ones she sent me, and she even put them in a separate bag because, you know, I guess with her sensitivity, she does that, is some Briggs & Little. And I have not had Briggs & Little for a while. This one is the Regal Briggs & Little. Briggs & Little is much more of a rustic yarn, and it is 100% wool, and you can feel it. This is the color blue, creative name, Regal 2-ply. It is 100% pure wool, 4 ounces, 113 grams. It is a product of Canada, and it doesn't say the thickness, but it is like a very thick 4-weight. Again, new knitter. I bought like the high-end stuff, and then I started selling for markets, and I was buying more economical commercial yarn after that. But I bought a Briggs & Little, and it's always been very reasonably priced yarn. Like usually these will go for $8 or $9, the very basic stuff. And I did not know at the time, because I was a new knitter, that I had to cake this up or roll it up into a ball. And I tried knitting straight from this, and it was such a disaster. And it was the world's largest knot. And unfortunately, I think I ended up I threw it out. I tried. It was like, okay, let's watch TV and try and like detangle this. And it was such a hot mess, as was I, that I had to get rid of it. And not that I haven't wanted to try Briggs & Little again. I think this is quite nice. It would make a beautiful pair of mittens, which I think is what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to do some plain mittens this year for my markets, and I'm going to do it in like wool, like higher end mittens. So I'm definitely going to make mittens out of this, and thank you, Cathy. And the final thing, and this has been an out of this world box, I have to say, is a Briggs & Little Heritage. Again, you can feel the wool. This has a beautiful colorway to it because it has a bit of a marled look. Brown heather. And again, this is a 2-ply. This is 196 meters. This one was 248 meters. So this is a bit of a thinner yarn, I think. Maybe a bit of a, no, I don't know. Again, it is 100% pure wool, 4 ounces, 113 grams, Heritage. But these two also would look really nice together, and maybe I should try my hand at doing some color work. I think brown and blue always really complement each other. So I might leave these and try and do a color work mitten, which is another thing that would be on my list of things to do. Incredible, incredible box of yarn. It's just amazing. Thank you so much, Cathy. And I implore you to go over and check her out. I'm going to link her channel below. She is such a sweet, kind soul. She's a little shy. I love that she is putting herself out there and sharing her makes, and she is incredibly talented. Some of the crocheted items she makes is just unbelievable. She has a very high skill set when it comes to her crafting, and she always shares some really good tips as well. She is also a knitter. She's more of a crocheter than a knitter, but she does do both. And one of her goals is to knit a bit more this year. So she does literally set time aside for herself to work on her knitting and to do some projects. And that's what I think I really need to do to get myself going to learn crochet. I've been putting it off, and there are 2 things that really, really make me want to do crochet. One of them is a chicken pot holder. I have actually bought the kit from Mary Maxim. It is a bag-a-day design, and I have got to sit down and do it. I was thinking I was just going to like do it in front of my laptop and film myself doing it. It may be a 7-hour long video of me just getting very frustrated. I could speed it up a bit, but my goal is to really, I want to make that this year. And another thing I am dying to make, and I think both of these items would be great at markets, besides the chicken pot holder, is a cat butt coaster. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to make a cat butt coaster? I just laugh out loud every time I see these things. And honestly, these are the two things that I want to make more than anything in this world. And unfortunately, they're both crochet, and I got to learn to do it. So I've got to just get out my hook, and I'm going to find some really easy, simple tutorials on YouTube and just practice the basic stitches. And then I'm going to follow Crystal's YouTube video of how to make these chicken pot holders. You can also make them in chicken coaster. She has both of them. So that's going to happen, but I have so many knits I want to do and so many projects I want to make, and I'm going to be doing them now. And here's something you need to know is my videos are going to move from Wednesday over to Fridays. So this week you're getting a twofer. I'm going to do another video for this Friday of just my weekly makes and what I've finished, what I've started, new things I'm casting on. And I think Friday is a better fit for me because it gives me more time during the week, not only to craft and complete some items to share with you, but to get my editing done in person. But the real, that doesn't sound good. Cathy, thank you so much. You outdid yourself. I am not worthy. I love absolutely everything you sent me, and I'm so appreciative of our friendship. So please go over, show her some love, and watch her video on Friday to see what I sent her. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.